Hello, everyone. We have a treat today. Our meditation has been created and read by someone different today. The inspiration is from the book called Divine Audacity by Reverend Linda Martella Whitsett. And she has the 12 power meditations in that book. And Laurie House has done the readings. And so there are 3 incorporated into this meditation this morning.
Take a moment to settle into stillness. Allow your body to find a comfortable position, your breath to soften, and your awareness to gently turn inward. As you arrive in this moment, begin to sense the quiet brilliance at the center of your being. In Divine Audacity, we are reminded that spiritual power is not something distant or reserved for a select few. It is the essence of who we are, the light we carry, the wisdom we express, and the love we embody. With each breath, feel yourself becoming more present, more open, more willing to recognize your own divine nature. This is the audacity the book speaks of, the courage to acknowledge your inner light without hesitation, without apology. Let your breath be a doorway. Let your stillness be a sanctuary. Let your awareness expand gently, as if you are remembering something ancient and true. In this space, you are invited to explore the spiritual powers that live within you. Powers of faith, strength, love, imagination, understanding, will, and life. These are not abstract ideas. They are living energies, always available, always expressing through you. As you continue to breathe, allow yourself to rest in the knowing that you are inherently whole, inherently wise, inherently luminous. You are not seeking something outside yourself. You are awakening to what has always been within. Let this meditation be an act of divine audacity, a bold willingness to shine, to know, to be. When you are ready, allow this awareness to guide you deeper into the practice ahead. Centering my awareness above my brow and inward to the front of my brain, I locate the physical seat of spiritual understanding. I inhale and exhale intentionally, drawing breath into this area of my brain responsible for logic, mental association, planning, and impulse control. I shine the light of understanding, precious golden threads, throughout my frontal lobes, cleansing my brain, clearing foggy thinking and misunderstanding. I am the power of understanding. Listening to my life and making meaningful connections between my experiences, thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. I comprehend my essential eternal nature as I pause in this moment of stillness. I sit in silence for a little while. I call forth from within my realization ability, at ease knowing that flashes of awareness may come as I arise from the silence or as I move about my day. I am spiritual insight, seeing beneath the words and actions of others their true spiritual nature and my own. Compassion is the fruit of my insight. Understanding oneness, I act in ways that foster unity. Divine understanding is my spiritual name and nature. Through my complementary powers of understanding and will, I am willing to understand. I am willing to suspend judgmentalness about others and myself, and understand the divine intentions underneath each appearance. I am divine understanding. By the power of understanding, I learn from my life. By the power of understanding, I learn from the one mind through which I realize eternal truths. I am divine understanding. Calming my breath, I focus attention on the center of my forehead, inward, at the site of the pineal gland, located between the two hemispheres of my brain. breathing in and breathing out, attention fixed. I bless this connecting link between the physical and the spiritual. Sensitive to the pulsing of life, the movement of energy, I shine the royal blue light of faith into the center of my brain. The spaces between the hemispheres brushed blue. I broadcast blue light throughout my brain and down through my body. A healing, streaming royal blue, signifying my consciousness of faith. Faith is my ability to see what cannot be seen humanly. I activate this spiritual power, courageously perceiving a greater truth than my physical senses report. I dare myself to see what cannot be seen by human eyes, but exists as surely as the sun exists behind a cloud. I perceive the bottom line truths about life, that life is irrepressible, eternal, and perfect in every stage and form. I stretch my capacity to see the good that can be in troubling situations. I envision possibilities, even in seemingly impossible circumstances. I am devoted to perceiving the good that can be. I am divine. I reach inward to my storehouse of faith to remain faithful during times when my human brain cannot envision the magnificent possibilities of wholeness of life, harmonious love, and wealth beyond measure. I demonstrate conviction by living as love lives, as wholeness lives, as wisdom lives. I audaciously trust in universal goodness, so much so that I rest deeply in the peace of spiritual assurance. By my innate power of faith, I live in positive expectancy. Begin focusing attention at your solar plexus, which lies mainly on the front of the aorta, where this primary artery enters the abdomen by passing through the diaphragm, at the pit of the stomach, and behind the stomach itself. Most of the nerves in this area belong to the autonomic nervous system, which operates beneath conscious awareness. The solar plexus is considered the other brain because of its nerve sensitivity. Affirm. I shine a yellow light like the midday sun through the region of my solar plexus. I bathe my solar plexus and the area around it with the brilliance of divine wisdom. I never need to worry about knowing the right thing to do. I do not judge by appearances, but by right judgment. I do not rush conclusions, but discern the way to go. Everything I need to know is within me. Divine wisdom is my spiritual name and nature. I can trust my aha and uh-oh wisdom moment by moment. I discern through divine wisdom my deep inner sense of direction. I trust and follow my inner voice of wisdom. I rest easy as, centered in my spiritual integrity, I am true. I activate the power of wisdom in my body, mind, and spirit. I assert wisdom to live in the heavenly state of harmony, peace, and well-being. My tuning to divine wisdom blesses me and all others. I am the divine power of wisdom, wise. Spread the yellow sunlight of wisdom throughout your body, penetrating your skin and radiating out into the world like sunlight streaming over the earth. As you gently return from this meditation, notice the steady light within you. Let your breath anchor the clarity and calm you've awakened. Remember that the power you touched here is not temporary. It's the truth of who you are. Carry this quiet boldness into the rest of your day, allowing your inner wisdom and compassion to guide your steps. When you're ready, open your eyes, bringing your renewed presence with you.
One, welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Hamilton. Welcome to everybody who's worshiping with us online. We are happy to have you here with us this morning. And as I explained last week, we're exploring ways in which you have a script already for you to explain what Unity is all about. So, as it says there, we explore practical spirituality for everyday life. We understand that the mind we live from shapes the life we experience. I'm Marcia Daly. I'm your presider for today. And if you've received these envelopes with 2, 4, 6 cards inside, this is also in response to the questionnaire that we had sent out earlier this year. And one of the findings was sometimes it's a little difficult to explain what unity is when someone says, "Where do you go to church?" So we have provided you with these cards to you can give them out so they can give the person who's asking a better understanding of who we are. So we're trying different ways to make it easy for people to understand who unity is, and they need to be here. It's really exciting. And so Emilio will take us through our first 3 songs. It's Up to Me by that's the first one by Sue Riley.
Thank you, Marcy. If it's to be, if it's to be, oh, if it's to be, it's up to me. If I see the truth, let me see the truth. If I'm lost in doubt, let me believe. I know I can be the change I want to see. And if it's to be, if it's to be, oh, if it's to be, it's up to me. If I'm tired and stressed, let me stop and rest. If I'm feeling hurt, let me forgive. I know I can be the change I want to see. And if it's to be, if it's to be, oh, if it's to be, it's up to me. If I dream of peace, let me live in peace. When I start from love, I am love. I know I can be the change I want to see. And if it's to be, if it's to be, oh, if it's to be, it's up to me. If it's to be, it's up to me. If it's to be, it's up to me. If it's to be, oh, if it's to be, it's up to me. You know it's up to me. If it's to be, it's up to me. All right, I made it. All right, so our next song is "Peace Today" by Faith Rivera. Peace is the promise I make today. There's nothing greater for me to say than to lay down my fears, lay down unhappiness, and surrender to the peace I choose today. Peace is the gift that I give today. No easy shortcut, peace is the way. I will lay down my pride, lay down self-righteousness, and surrender to the peace I choose today. My all I give, my love for all, my love I give, my love for all. Peace is the reason we're here today. No accident, we've been called by name, called to lay down our lives, stand up for greater good, and surrender to the peace we choose today. Peace we choose today. Peace we bring today. Peace we live. Oh, today. Peace today. Our next song is even more meditative, "In the Stillness" by Karen Drucker. moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace, and I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment, there is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace, and I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment, there is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is love. There is love. In the stillness of this moment, there is love. There is love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment, there is love, sweet love, sweet love. In the stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love. In the stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love, and I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment, I feel love. In the stillness of this moment, I am peace. I am peace. Stillness of this moment. In the stillness of this moment, and I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment, I am peace. I am love. 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 I am peace. I am love.
Join with me in consciousness from this place of peace and love. I recognize that there is only one divine essence, and it is right where I am, in the stillness, at the core of my being. And so from this place, I recognize that all is well, and I can connect to this stillness anytime I choose. I breathe into this awareness, knowing my life is good. And as I do, even more good shows up. So with a grateful heart, I let go and I let it be so. Please join with me in affirming. And so it is.
This week's inspiration: under all the harsh noise of the world coming in on us, this is how the things that last move. A small wave from the deep moves us on, and the more we're moved, the more we bend and bow and reach for each other. Our very life is the ground of practice by which we struggle to unlock the gate and let life in. It's the murmur of life that fills us with another chance. Little by little, it's the courage to assume our full stature one more time that enables us to do the hard work that always makes us come alive. It's the turn from hiding to giving that releases heaven on earth. And that comes from Mark Nepo's book, The Endless Practice, Become Who You Were Born to Be, page 50.
Our next song is Instrument of Peace by Amy Sky. Where there is hatred, let me bring love. Where there is doubt, let me bring faith. Where there is falsehood, let me bring truth. Where there is pain, I'll comfort you. Where there is silence, let me sing praise. Where there's despair, let me bring hope. Where there is blindness, let me bring sight. Where there is darkness, let me be light. And with these words I speak, grant that I may not seek to be heard, but to hear, to be consoled, but to console, not to be seen, but to see, to be loved, as to love. For when we give love, we will receive. When we forgive love, we'll find reprieve. It isn't timing, we'll be released. Make me an instrument of peace.
I think I'd like to just turn the lights out and have us sit in this stillness. What a beautiful feeling. Can you guess what we're talking about today? Yes, it almost seems unfair to talk about it than to experience it. So all this month, we're practicing becoming. Now, it's not that you need to be anything, but I think we've learned to not be who we really are. So now's the time to practice being who we truly are. So beyond the noise, the power of inner stillness is what I'd like to look at. Most people aren't struggling because they don't know enough. They're struggling because they can't hear themselves clearly anymore. And why is that? Especially today with all of the devices. And how many people do you know that will just sit in silence in their home, for instance? Do you? Or do you always have something going on? Some noise, something. Like even here in this sanctuary, I can tune out the street noise and not even realize it's there, but there's always some kind of noise. So life is loud. Responsibilities are also loud. And sometimes our emotions are some of the loudest things that we have going on. So have you ever noticed how loud life can get, even when nothing is happening? You sit down for a quiet moment and suddenly your mind becomes a full committee meeting. Have you ever had that? Yes, yes, for sure. One voice says you should relax. The other one says you don't have time to relax. And the third one jumps in, also remember that thing from 2007? And somehow that's the moment your brain decides it's the perfect time to replay your entire life. And we think the problem is that life is noisy. Often the real noise is actually internal. And here's the truth. You don't find clarity by solving every thought. You find clarity by stepping beneath them. And one of the first things that I certainly learned was that I actually have thoughts. And recognizing who is doing the thinking. Did you ever have that aha moment? Yeah. I remember meeting a man who was in Alcoholics Anonymous for many, many years. And he said when he first joined, he didn't realize that he had thinking. Like, he didn't realize that he had thoughts. It had never been identified to him in a way that he understood. And when he understood that it was his thinking that was creating a lot of the problems in his life, he was then able to take control of it. And I remember thinking then, when I heard him say that I didn't know when it happened that I recognized I was thinking, and that there was also an observer observing my thinking. Do you remember when that happened? Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? So you don't find truth by thinking harder. Truth as in the wisdom of the universe. You find it by becoming still enough to hear it. So stillness is not the absence of sound. It's the presence of the truth. And it's like turning your dial to that truth. And how might you do that? And I think we all have a different way of doing that. So I'd like to look at three things. Stillness is a state of being. Stillness dissolves the mental noise. And stillness reveals what is true and aligned. So silence is external. Stillness is internal. Now you notice the distinction there. One is stillness, one is silence. You can be in a completely quiet room and feel overwhelmed. I mean, you can be sitting on your couch and there's no noise going on anywhere. And there is like a committee meeting going on in your mind, in your body even, with the emotions. And you can be in a busy place, and the opposite is true. Feel deeply grounded, totally unaffected by what's going on around you. Stillness is what happens when you are no longer reacting to every thought, to every emotion, and to every trigger. It's not that thoughts disappear, because they don't. It's just like that street noise doesn't disappear. But how do I tune it out? We have this innate ability to connect with that stillness within, to bring the focus to that. We just don't allow those noises to run the show. And you can allow the internal noises, the internal yap, 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 to also not run the show if you choose. So this is what Ernest Holmes, who was the founder of religious science, said. Out of the silence of our own soul comes a direct revelation of our oneness with God. And so he's recognizing that when you tap in to that stillness, you're tapping into this greater part of you that in the noise you forgot, that you didn't notice. So stillness isn't empty. Stillness is where truth becomes audible. Have you ever noticed when truth is speaking to you in that stillness? Maybe take note now, because it's always speaking to you. Think about a moment when you were upset. Something small happens, someone says something, and suddenly your whole system reacts. We are holistic beings. You can't have a thought like that without it responding everywhere. I notice when I'm watching some TV programs, and I like these shoot 'em up, bang, bang kind of things, and when somebody falls or gets pushed over, like I notice the jolt, the adrenaline jolt in me, and I'm responding to the thought of what I'm seeing. So if you react immediately, it escalates. But if you pause, even for a moment, something shifts. Like when I have that reaction when I'm watching, it's like, oh yeah, it's only TV. But I get so caught up in it. And we get caught up in stuff in life the same way. So the emotional charges actually soften when you take a beat, when you take a moment. The story loosens and your perspective returns. That pauses the doorway to stillness. So when you begin to practice stillness, something powerful actually starts to happen. Your mental noise loses authority. Because if you're not paying attention to it, it kind of is the boss. It's causing you physically and emotionally to respond a certain way. And your emotional reactions actually lose the urgency. Like, have you ever felt like, oh, it's got to happen right now? And yet, if you take a beat, if you take a breath, you recognize there's lots of time. Old patterns also lose their momentum. Because again, when you're deliberate and you're noticing, then you're saying, oh, is this really how I want to respond to this? Is this the best way to respond? It doesn't mean that life stops happening, because it's going to continue to happen. It means that you stop being pulled in every direction by it. And that's my desire for you this week as you move forward is, are you being shifted around like a leaf in the wind? Or are you as sturdy in your stillness that it doesn't matter how the wind is blowing? So here's an example. Irritation. Let's say something bothers you. Anybody had that ever? Normally you react, or you speak, or you escalate, and then you regret. Especially those spontaneous reactions. I've often felt like I should have taken a beat. So try this. Pause for 2 minutes. No, I've done this to you before, but I won't do it this time. Make you sit for 2 minutes, because it is a long time, especially when you're in the heat of a moment where you think like you really need to respond and somebody's just said something or done something, and 2 minutes is a long time to suck it up while you're waiting. But don't fix anything, don't rehearse, just be. So if something like that happens this week, whatever it is, even a thought that you had that kind of upset you, stop for 2 minutes. Just stop. And then ask, after the 2 minutes, is this still true? Do I still believe what I just responded to? Is this still worth my energy? Sometimes it is, but often it isn't. Because what felt urgent was actually just unprocessed energy looking for expression. Does that make sense? Because there's this surge of energy that needs to go somewhere. And if you stop, it just kind of melts, doesn't it? So stillness doesn't suppress truth. It reveals what is actually true. And that's the thing I'm getting at, is that if you can practice enough to be able to get still at the snap of a finger, or just at the thought of being still, then you can see much more clearly and you can make clearer decisions. So you've heard this saying by Jesus, seek ye first the kingdom. And that's what he was talking about, is in the midst of anything that doesn't seem loving and compassionate and good and peaceful, to seek the stillness would be another word for seek ye first the kingdom. Because from there, the answers come, or the urgency dissipates. The clarity shows up. Stillness actually strengthens your intuition. Did you know that? And it reveals authentic truth. Not just what you thought was true, but that softer, gentler, more pervasive truth. So when you become comfortable in stillness, something beautiful emerges. Any idea what that is? Your wisdom. The wisdom that's at the core of your being. The beauty of who you are, the magnificence of who you are, the love and the support of the universe shows up in that stillness. And it is the greatest tool I think that I have ever learned on this spiritual journey, because life is noisy. and it's busy, and it's often very negative. And it's how do I survive in the center of all of that and feel anchored, feel supported. And it comes from that stillness. How do you find that stillness? Are there activities that you do that allow for you to, and it sounds like an oxymoron here when I say activity and stillness, but is there something that you can do that causes that stillness that you do naturally? And maybe it's you go sit out on your balcony or your deck or your favorite chair outside and you hear the rustle of the wind and that stillness naturally just happens. Or maybe it's looking at the water or looking at the clouds, or maybe it's having a bath. Have you ever gone into a bath and you've sunk below your ears so that just the sound of the water and your own heartbeat are all that you hear? You begin to recognize actually what's real and aligned and authentic, not because you forced clarity, but because you made space for it. So that's your invitation today, is make space for that beautiful part of who you are to show up more often. And it doesn't have to be for a long time, because those milliseconds that you take to make the space for it brings even more good into your life in ways that you can't even imagine. Ernest Holmes says, in the innermost recesses of uplifted thought and silent contemplation, there is a voice ever proclaiming, and we must learn to listen. I remember early on in this journey, a woman said to me, my greatest desire is to have a conversation with God, to know that God exists, to know that it hears me and I hear it. And she was really trying to force it to happen, and came to understand over a period of time that it was in that stillness, in that contemplation, where she actually connected. Is that where you connect? So that voice isn't outside of you. And maybe it's not a voice for you. Maybe it's a feeling. Maybe it's a sensation. Maybe it's a visual. It is, though, the deepest part of you. And it's always speaking to you. It's always whispering, and sometimes just silently waiting for you to get still enough. Not silent enough, still enough. So how about in decision making? Have you ever tried to think your way into the right decision? You're thinking and you're thinking and you're thinking. You're putting the pros and the cons, and you're overthinking and you're second guessing, and then you stop. And when you get quiet, suddenly you know. Now, you may think that all of that weighing the pros and cons was what brought you to that answer. It actually wasn't. It was the stillness when you finally gave up. But I don't know how to do this. And the answer comes. Or you're 3 o'clock in the morning when you get up to go to the bathroom, and the answer comes because you've been still enough. Or you're driving your car somewhere, and all of a sudden, because you're doing things that are so comfortable you don't have to think about it, the answer comes. And you didn't have to work at it at all. That knowing doesn't come from thinking. It comes from the stillness, from your soul connection. And that stillness is what allows you to have a really strong soul connection. So I'm not asking you to stop and just sit there with your eyes closed going all day long, because that's not a productive life. But what I'm recommending is find time every day to do the activities or the nothingness that allows you to be still. So this week, Spend 10 minutes a day in intentional silence. I mean, really intentional. Nothing on, not doing anything, just be. Don't even get up for anything. You'll notice there'll be all kinds of, you should be doing this and you should be doing that, or is 10 minutes up yet? Just try that. And if you already do this, extend your time. So maybe you do it for 10 minutes already. Do it for 11 or 12 or 20. Try this. Greet someone with a smile instead of words. Like, just don't say anything, just make eye contact. Share one moment of silence during a meal. Now, if you live alone, you're probably eating in silence anyway. But if there's a TV on or a radio on or whatever, why not eat that meal, that entire meal, in silence? Just the sacredness of sharing that food from the plate to your body. And when triggered, if that happens to you this week, pause for 2 minutes without speaking. It'll be agony, 2 minutes. You might have to say, hey, I just need to take a beat. Not to suppress, but to listen more deeply. What is it that your soul would like to do in this situation? What is it saying to me to guide me here? So how do you use silence as a sacred practice? Do you use silence as a sacred practice? Few are going, no way. And it can be really uncomfortable when you first start, just like anything new that you're trying. So what truth has ever been revealed to you in stillness? I'm laughing because I was here during the week with our administrator, and she was working on our PowerPoint. And she was really frazzled by some stuff that was going on. And so her energy was really scattered, chaotic energy. Have you ever been like that? You know, you feel like you're a ping pong ball just kind of going everywhere. Well, she was attempting to change the size of the lettering on the PowerPoint. We like it to be a certain size so that people in the back can actually read it easily from the monitor. And it has to be a size 44 is typically the size. So she was changing the PowerPoint for the AGM, actually, that's coming up. And it was all at 20, which meant that anyone in the back row wouldn't be able to read it. So I said, can you change it all to 44, please? Well, it kept going to 52 and not to 44. And then if she got it to 44, when she went back to look at it, it was back at 52 or at 20. It was bouncing around like the energy in her body. And I started laughing. I said, my sewing machines do that to me as well. If I'm in a hyper state, my needles break, my thread breaks, the fabric gets all bunched up, and everything just represents what's going on inside of me. There isn't stillness there. So I asked her to just get up, walk around for a while, maybe even go outside. And the thing with Brenda right now, she has a bum knee. She's torn something on the back of her knee and she can't walk. And so what is her typical place of stillness is getting out and walking. She hasn't been able to do it. So have you noticed that with you? When that thing that normally is your tap into that keeps you sane isn't available to you, you can feel chaotic. So maybe have a couple of things you do, or 3 things that you do that allow for that stillness. So anyway, she got up, walked around, and it all worked out. But it's funny, it's as instantaneous as that something, well, really, when you think about it, everything on a computer is just energy. You think it's solid, but it's energy that's actually tapped into the universe through the internet. Like everything we create on the screen is somewhere in a cloud. So why wouldn't it respond to our chaotic energy? That's how powerful who you're being is. So as we move into this season of peace, I'd like for you to think about that. We had some beautiful peace songs today. They are just lovely. And it's that reminder that there is this happy, still kind of place that's so easy to go to, sometimes through music or sometimes through just deliberate creation. So clarity is not created, it's revealed. And when you get quiet, truth gets louder. Stillness is not something that you have to create. Hear me with that. You don't have to create stillness. It's something that you stop interrupting. So beneath the noise, beneath the reactions, beneath the constant movement, there's already a place within you that's clear, that's steady, that's whole, that's unshakable, that's true, that loves you. And when you begin to live from that place, life doesn't get quieter, because it just stays as noisy as it is. But you get clearer and you feel better. So we looked at stillness as a state of being, as dissolving mental noise, and as revealing what's true and aligned. Did you get anything out of that? So this week, listen differently. Not with effort, not with analysis, but with presence. Listen to that, what the stillness is saying, however it speaks to you. Because in that stillness, you don't just hear truth, you recognize who you are. Vast, magnificent. So now I'd like to know, what did this looking at stillness bring to you? You have any ideas that you want to share on how you discover stillness, how you can bring that about in your being? Marcia, anything come to mind?
My moments of stillness, I've tried to be intentional. I am not always successful, but I have found in the wee hours when I'm just waking, that's when all the wisdom shoots into my mind.
Okay.
So I don't try to have a prescribed way, because apparently that's not going to work for me 100% of the time. But I just allow that early morning to be the time when I have no choice. I am still.
Yes.
And so I'm not in the way.
You know that Wayne Dyer spoke about that in that stillness, which was for him around 3:00 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
that's where all of the books flowed through him that he wrote and all of the courses that he created.
Okay, so I got to get busy.
How about this? You will be busy. Anybody else? Deborah? Let's take a minute to get the microphone to work.
Thank you. All right. So apparently there's two knobs to this one. So I have been thought I was practicing silence. I decided when I take the dog for a walk, I'm just going to not talk. I'm just going to just listen to the birds and walk quietly and silently. I thought I was doing a really good idea. It was a great idea, except for, what is this, Friday night. I got my tires changed from the snow tires to my all seasons. Driving home from a concert at 10:30 at night, the sensors went off, and then all four sensors at the same time. And it says, don't go fast. Stop if you can. They shut off. Another one went on for another tire. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, what is going on here? I know, that's exactly what I was thinking too. And then that shut off, and then the other ones went back on again. So obviously the car wasn't happy with whatever was going on. In the driveway, parked the car. Of course, I've got plans for Saturday morning. All night, I just kept thinking to myself, what am I going to do with this car? How am I going to manage? I can't drive. Yeah. I mean, I didn't resolve the problem until about 3 in the morning when I went, that's why I've got a CAA card. What's my problem? I know. You'd think I would have come up with it right away. So I had plans for a breakfast with a friend, texted her in the morning, and I said, you know what? You need to drive. We'll go for breakfast. We'll go to the market, and then I'll do CAA when I get home. That was that simple, but it took me about 3 hours of angst to kind of go up with the thought of, you know what? Why am I worrying? This is ridiculous. But yeah, so I thought I was doing the stillness thing. I'm still working on it.
Yeah. Well, and I think all of us do. And it's the recognizing that all that noise actually kept the wisdom from coming up, didn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. Anybody else want to share? There's some people online, I think. You want to pass the microphone down?
There we go. Hello. Okay, Gertie from Winnipeg said that it was nice to know the difference between silence and stillness. And I think that was a good lesson. And my own personal experience, well, that 10 minutes of silence, I'm not doing that, maybe 1 minute. I'm never going to win the Olympics of silence ever. Anybody that knows me. But one time I went to this workshop. I was teaching exercise at the time, and it was at the Toronto Convention Center, and there were like 7,000 people in this meeting. And the person that was speaking was talking about getting silent and being still. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't do this. But anyway, she had this really cool technique that works for me when I remember it. And she said, just focus on some noise in the background. And she said, like, everybody got quiet. And she said, do you hear the hum of the air conditioner? Just close your eyes and put all of your focus on that for a minute or two. And it was cool because monkey mind, you can't have monkey mind while you're listening to that hum. Yes. So that was one little thing that worked for me. I don't always remember it.
Thank you. Yes.
Anybody else?
Anyone else? Sharon?
I have learned that my mind, when people speak, I'm not listening to them. I am talking in my head back to them instead of listening to them. So I have taught myself that when people are speaking, I tune into my brain, and when it's going, I go yak, yak, yak. And that stops me and reminds me to be still and to listen.
Okay. Great tool.
I was thinking when Wendy was talking, that's why there's the Om. The meditation schools will have something you're concentrating on. So yeah.
Yes, the mantras make a big difference because it gives that monkey mind something to focus on. Yes. Anybody else?
For me, the awareness quite often comes when I'm in my zone in the kitchen cooking.
When you're
all of a
cooking,
sudden,
yeah.
all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh. And then I go like run to my journal and write down what my thought was, and that just popped
Yes.
up. The other thing I wanted to share was that I remembered hearing a while ago that physiologically, our emotions are fully physically expressed within 90 seconds. So that 2 minutes is perfect because you've got the expression done, and then you've got your time to come back into yourself.
Yes. Oh, so it's
so
proven in science.
Yes. Chemical physiological response.
Okay. Cool. One more from home?
Yeah, Pat, but I'm not sure I'm understanding part of this. I don't know if autocorrect did a little drunk thing on her. But anyway, she said, because I live alone with Gracie, and for people who don't know, Gracie's her little dog, I have lots of opportunities for stillness, which I take advantage of. I found out how much I depend on it when I stayed with my Bradshaw and her baby last week. Should it have been granddaughter?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Well, I hope I did that right, Pat. You can let me know next week.
Yes, having little children around, you really can practice stillness, but it takes practice. So we can continue this conversation for those of you that are online through the Zoom link in the description box below this video. There's a group from the Unity Outreach York region that holds this Zoom call, and it's about half an hour, so you can join in and talk a little more, share a little more.
juicy conversations. Thank you, Reverend Anne. So let's turn our attention to conscious giving, and you may do so via e-transfer to the email admin@unityspiritualcenter.com. And it's because if this community supports you, consider supporting it in return. Your contribution helps keep these services accessible, welcoming, and growing. And if you're still writing checks, you may do so to Unity Spiritual Center. So let's say our gratitude affirmation for all the gifts that you are giving and we are receiving. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all I give and all I receive, and so it is.
It's Potluck Sunday, and I will surrender. I will surrender. It's Karen Drucker, David Roth, and Faith Rivera. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and true and free, as I continue walking in this mystery. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am grateful every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am kinder every moment, every day, and I'm more loving every moment, every day. I will surrender every moment, every day.
I say I love you at the end of every service. And I want you to know what that means even more deeply than just that I'm saying I love you. Because it's something that I do now often. is I will stop in my day and say to life, to the greater part of me, to everything around me, I love you. And so when I say I love you, it means you, but it means everything. So I invite you this week to say I love you, even if it's just in your mind, as often as you can. And for whatever it is that you're really, truly grateful for. So why don't we say it now? I love you. One more time. I love you. And so it is.